What's up, Electric Kids? This is your rejuvenated and freshly new Uncle Drew because the Harvest Fest is over. Our fall festival, Trunk in that Community, was a great success. We had a lot of people, we had a lot of food, we had a lot of fun and games, and I'm glad you all made it. And guess what? I was talking like this the whole time because my voice was gone, but my voice is back, so I'm happy. Okay? So look, guys, I'm happy to see you all. Come here. Come here. Just give me a hug. I missed you all so much, and I hope you missed me too. Welcome back again for Motivation with Uncle Drew. Lately, we've been talking about Jesus and his humanity. I just said, sorry, guys. I just said, we've been talking about Jesus and his humanity. We talked about being angry. We talked about him being God, but human at the same time. We talked about him being a provider, a healer, all of those things. But today, I kind of want to step outside and take a pause from that, right? We'll pick back up next week about Jesus being the servant. But this week, I kind of want to talk about something that was on my mind today. I went to the Cedar Hill High School today. No, not today, last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, I went to the Cedar Hill High School. And when I talked to the Cedar Hill High School, it's the varsity's basketball team. So most of these young men are 15 to 18 years old, right? So I talked to them about something today. I said, have you ever felt like this? You're doing everything right. You're doing everything that you're being asked to do and going above and beyond. Let's say you're studying for all your tests, making straight A's. You're not making any C's, no D's, no F's. You're just getting A's and B's. What your coach tells you to do, you do everything. What your parents tell you to do, you do every single thing. And even when people aren't looking, you're doing the right thing. Have you ever been in a situation where you're doing all of those things right, but yet nobody, and I mean nobody, congratulates you, say good job, say they're proud of you. They don't say thank you. They say, I see all the hard work you're putting in. They don't say that you're talented. They don't say that you're good. They don't pat you on the back or give you a hug. They don't reward you with anything. How does that make you feel? I seem a little angered at that question. His whole team was there, his coach was there, and he was like, basically, it makes me frustrated. It discourages me. It makes me not want to do those things anymore. Because here I am putting in all of this work, doing all of these things I'm supposed to do, saying all the right things, being a student athlete, but yet nobody recognizes me and notices it. And it makes me very, very, very discouraged. It gets me to the point to where I no longer want to do what I love the most. We'll get back to that. One day there was this old man, right? An old pawpaw. He was a missionary, right? So what a missionary is somebody who lives in, let's say, in America, and they decide that they are called, that God called them to go overseas, or they have a heart to go overseas, which means to Africa, Asia, New Guinea, or Papua Guinea, or Icetown, or Iceland, or Greenland, or Nefergio, or Mario Land, Yoshi Land, wherever, right? And they go to these new places, and they decide to spread the gospel in those areas. What you don't know about missionaries is that's a very grueling job because you're literally leaving everything here to move to a foreign country. You're going to people who don't speak like you, who don't look like you, who don't eat like you, all of those things. It's scary and it's a sacrifice, a major sacrifice. Can you imagine leaving your home, your PlayStation, your TV, your warmth, your soup, your nice home, your cover, all of those things to go to a place who barely has running water? People do that. I know many missionaries. So this one man, he did it for 20 years, him and his wife, and then they had children, all of those cool things. 20 years, and he came back, he left old and he came back older, right? Let's say that. So when he came back, he was walking down from the plane, and he saw crowds of people just clapping, saying, woo! All of those good things, and they were just celebrating and jumping around. And he was like, oh my gosh, honey. He said, look at all these people celebrating me. Look at all these people that are happy for me. They know what I did. I did all these good things, all of these good things for Jesus and for God and spread the gospel. Some people became saved by what I did, and everybody's celebrating. Sounds cool. It sounds awesome. But then this man looked back and he saw the president of the United States right behind him. So, which goes to show, he was very embarrassed because nobody was celebrating for him. Nobody was clapping for him. Nobody even knew who he was. They didn't care he was a missionary, a firefighter, a police, a cow maneuver. Nobody knows. I say maneuver. Nobody knows. But what it is, the president was behind them, and, they were celebrating for him. That man became very discouraged. All those years, all that work that he put in, all of those things that he did for Christ's sake, to leave everything behind as Christ wants us to do, to leave everything behind to go serve the least of these. And nobody knew his name. Nobody gave him a hand clap. Nobody said, we appreciate your service. Nobody said, here's some money or here's a pie that's waiting for you. None of that. They were celebrating for someone else. He leaned to his wife and cried and was in tears and was upset. He was broken. He was frustrated and said, why did I even do this? And she leaned over to him and said, you know what, honey? You're right. Sometimes people won't recognize you're good. Most of the time they will see the little bad you do, and that's all they will focus on. They see where you lack at, look at your weaknesses, and that's what they will focus on. But she told him this. Yeah, they're not celebrating you, but she said, you must know this. The one who matters the most, the one who has created you, the one who has called you, the one who has formed you and gave you every gift, who has gave you breath in your body, who has made you you, sees you. Your reward may not be here. That good job may not be on earth. You may do everything they're supposed to do for the rest of your life, and nobody may not ever notice it. But the one who has called you sees all. And I want to say, as the Bible says, I said Bible, as the Bible says, your labor is not in vain, which means everything that you do is not going unnoticed. You do reap what you sow, which means what you put in. If you put out bad things, bad will come to you. If you put out good, good will come to you. You reap what you sow. If I slap somebody in the face I don't know, I'm going to sow getting slapped back in my face. Right? I always talk about being slapped in the face. I have to stop that, guys. I'm not violent. But look, our labor is not in vain. And the one who it matters to the most, sees it. And I know that's sometimes hard to believe because that takes faith. Because sometimes we want to be recognized now. I want to be recognized for some things now. Sometimes I'll be like, man, I wish people knew my name. I wish people knew who I was. That's just fleshly thoughts. But sometimes I have to get to myself and says, my fulfillment comes when I please God and Him only. When I do things that don't require the spotlight, which I should have gotten a spotlight, but at the same time, I'd rather work behind the scenes and please God than to act like I'm pleasing Him in front of people. That was deep. So look, guys, she told him, your reward is not here. You won't get congratulated here, but your reward is in heaven. But let me say this. You can get congratulated by the things you do, thanks to social media, thanks to word of mouth. But if it doesn't happen, and even if it does happen, don't let that get you caught up to where you still do it for accolades and not for Him. So I say to that struggling kid or that struggling teen who is looking for accolades, the parent or a grandparent, whoever, you're trying to do everything you can do so your family can survive and have a roof over their head and nobody says thank you. Just know that you are appreciated and that God sees you. And that it's nothing that you aren't doing that's for no reason. You're doing it for a reason and it will pay off. Whether if it's here on earth or in eternity with heaven. So to that person who's wanting to give up, I want to say this. Remember why you do what you do. Remember why you play basketball. Remember why you chose the job that you're working on. Even if you don't like your job, even if you don't like your school, remember why you're going there and let your why be the fuel to take you to the next level, to keep you going. If you stop doing what you do, just imagine how much bad can come from that. I told the basketball player guy, I said, just imagine you can break generational curses. You can be the first one to get a scholarship and go to college. You can be the first one to graduate high school. You can be the first one to win a state championship in your family and to be a coach, whatever. You never know the route that your process is taking you to. So just because nobody is watching you, don't give up and keep doing what you're doing. Keep working hard behind closed doors. Keep the fire going when nobody sees you or says anything, because sooner or later it will pay off. And I want you to know that everything you're doing is not in vain. I love you guys. I appreciate you all. The holidays are coming up, right? So my email is going to drop below. So ask me what my favorite snack is so y'all can just send me my snacks for Thanksgiving. I'm just playing. But yeah, if you want to send me gifts and snacks, I'm open to that. It's time for y'all to start sending me snacks. Y'all got to start seeing me, because I haven't gotten a snack yet from nobody, and I've been doing Electric Kids for this long. But that's okay, because God is going to reward me with some Thanksgiving food that my mama is going to cook. So I don't need y'all snacks. But anyway, guys, I love you all. Y'all be good. I miss you all. Happy to see y'all. Come here, bring it in. Before we go, with God, with Jesus, everything is